and make money as it was the objective of the project. She added that it would be a waste of their money if they did not work. Now, in other news, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Sam Kutesa, has inaugurated the newly refurbished and expanded office premises of the Uganda High Commission Chancery in the Tanzanian capital of Dar es Salaam. The Minister Kutesa said that the inaugural ceremony that a magnificent mission building for Uganda in Tanzania goes a long way to emphasize the implementation of a shift from the traditional practices dedicated to managing only bilateral relations and entering into commercial dealings with a view of promoting trade and investment in a diversity of sectors such as tourism and others. The minister commended the government of Uganda for availing the resources for the refurbishment and extension of the country's High Commission premises in Dar es Salaam that has seen the creation of more office space. The Minister of State for Lands, Persis Namuganza, thanked Uganda's High Commissioner to Tanzania, Ambassador Richard Kabonero, for using the national resources profitably. She noted that every portion of land added to Uganda is a blessing. High Commissioner Richard Kabonero, on his part, said that the new home for the Ugandan mission in Dar es Salaam is a pride to Ugandans in Tanzania. The Foreign Affairs Permanent Secretary, Mr. Patrick Mugoya, expressed happiness that the government of Uganda has embarked on the renovation or construction of new homes for Ugandan missions abroad, like in Kigali, Rwanda, Bujumbura in Burundi, and Juba in South Sudan, among others. Presidency Minister Honorable Esther Mbayo, that of Public Service Honorable Muruli Mukasa, Uganda's Defense Attaché in Tanzania Major General Stephen Kashaka, and the chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Foreign Affairs Honorable Hood Katuram witnessed the inaugural ceremony. In other news, the Ministry of Health has called for more efforts in adherence to ARVs uptake to reduce HIV prevalence in Uganda. This was during the medical camp held in Munyangabu district, where several residents were treated for various ailments. Details follow.
According to the Minister of Health, eradicating HIV and AIDS is still a challenge in the western part of the country, where viral load suppression is still very low. In Munyangabu district, for example, HIV prevalence stands at 6.2%. Viral load suppression remains low at 89.2% compared to a national average of 95%, calling for more efforts in adherence to ARVs uptake. Dr. Opa Bernard represented the State Minister for Health General Duties at the closure of a medical camp in Munyangabu district.
We need more efforts in adherence to ARV uptake and being consistent with it. Available data indicates that the enrollment for ART is slightly over 16,000 in the district, but those actively taking ARVs are only about 13,000.
The Miss Western Uganda Young Positives, Ainemba was Yvonne, called on the youth to adhere to the preventive measures.
That stigma and discrimination yaba ne bamulabamira ddagala yeebuuza n'abagamba ki olusibalimba nina omutwe olusibalimba nina ekinuma naye nga kituufu biri ebirala ate bye bibaluma.
She also advised mothers to be open to their children and their caregivers about their health status and to always remind adolescents to take their drugs. The woman member of parliament for Munyangabu district, Ms. Pisi Mutuzo, commended the health camp for creating awareness and sensitizing the community on adherence to medication.
We opened up our eyes. First of all, to note that the district does not have the facilities that could be able to manage the cases of illnesses we have in Munyangabu. So we need a general ward here in Kibito Health Center 4, and we also need eye specialists, because we have a number of cases of people who suffer from the eye illnesses.
The district health officer for Munyangabu, Richard Obit, told the minister that malaria is on the upsurge, followed by sexually transmitted infections and pneumonia. In order to step up service delivery in the health sector, government has embarked on the process of upgrading Health Center 2s to Health Center 3s countrywide, Kibota Health Center 2 in Munyangabu district being among the beneficiaries. The medical camp followed several reports and investigations by experts that the communities of Bunyangapu were battling seriously ill-related cases that have contributed to deaths. Bernard Higa and Tumsime Gerard, UBC.
Toro Kingdom has finalized plans for a database for all academicians hailing from Toro Kingdom. The Deputy Prime Minister, also Security Minister in Toro Kingdom, Muganzi Patrick, says that the database will advance Toro Kingdom strategic development programs. He also told UBC that plans for commemorating the Impango are also complete. Let's take a look.
All subjects from the 9 counties that make up Toro Kingdom have converged at Karuzika, the kingdom's palace, to make final touches in preparation for the 24th anniversary Impango celebrations. They have repaired the reed fencing around key ritual places within the palace. This group from Mwenge County worked on Muchwa Cultural House.
They have come all the way from Kianjuju to come and beautify these cultural houses so that the function on a condo is colorful.
My role here is to make sure that this coronation program is being overseen very well. It's just out of my will to work for my king, and so I feel that proud.
This group is in charge of replacing the reed enclosure and thatching ritual houses at the old palace. In this enclosure are 3 ritual houses: Akaronyi, where the royal regalia are brushed on the eve of Impango; Kiambukia, where the king's water for washing is prepared; and Kachuwemi, a ritual house where the king eats with other princes.
His Majesty King Oyo, when he was coming, after the battle down there, a mock battle, he came straight away to the Karuzika, and from there, he had to have his meal, the first meal in that house there. And that meal was attended by some royals, Abavito. And here they were accepting him to become a king.
The uncle to the king visited all the ritual places around the palace to assess their compliance before the D-Day of Impango. We also talked to the women in charge of the king's welfare. These are widows deployed at the entrance to Karuzika, the palace. They take charge of the king's address seat, locally known as Omsanga.
Abazire bange nubo babandizemu mu bukama sinkurunyo wakagwa mu bukama nyine nkurunyo yagwa mu bukama nyina nyo yagwa mu bukama.
The royal palace has Omkama's chair. That chair is supposed to be there every day. When the people who take care of that chair are these 2 ladies you are seeing seated here, are known as Abaranga. Abaranga, those are the people who will be managing the other Karoni.
Toro Kingdom is collecting a database for all educated persons hailing from Toro Kingdom. These would participate in Toro development.
We have forged up working relationship with other bodies. We have worked out a plan of uniting all clans so that you can have unity as a kingdom. We have introduced a program of starting up a data bank to identify our people qualified in different fields so that we can help them to get jobs in different areas.
Omkama Oyo Nyimba Kabambe Guru Rukidi IV ascended to the throne when he was just 3 years in 1995 after the death of his father, Omkama Olimikaboyo.
Members of a Tekere cluster of Karamoja in Amdat district for an annual Karamajong festival. The event began in Tumotsel along River Kanyangareng, Amuda Town Council, with a dialogue. Let's take a look.
Atekele cluster is a group of tribes that include Tesots, Karamajongs, Pokots of both Uganda and Kenya, the Nyangtom of Ethiopia, and Turkanas of Kenya. The festival is characterized by elders' meetings, bull roasting, and different types of unique dances that include the Nalenyo dance. Alara Chemskuny explains that there are several dances that include Karemba. According to Arara, during the dance, different groups come to the dancing floor as spectators cheer on.
As gather, they have a dialogue, and today, as you have seen, we have been in a dialogue. They are still there, talking about peace and also trying to educate people about the negative cultures like the female genital mutilation, FGM.
Philip Okiro, a representative from the Teso region, says the event aims at promoting education and introducing Karamajong children to the outside world and to live in harmony.
Time has come. We are coming together. This kind of celebration is a reminder, is educative, is a guide to tell the young ones, to remind us what has gone, and to educate us what we should do.
Oteka Joseph from Moroto wants government to help the Karamajong identify investors intending to set base in the area so that there are no suspected land grabbers. He wants a clear policy aimed at eliminating briefcase investors and conmen.
Come in, sometimes they sometimes they don't follow the mining regulations. They get licenses instead of following and abiding by the mining regulations. They are supposed to come compensate.
Is renowned for fostering reconciliation, nurturing peace, and ensuring there are no efforts to rustle cattle.
Let's now take a quick break and be back with more news tonight. Do not go far.
Have you completed Senior 4 or Senior 6 and you want to do a 2-year certificate or a diploma course? Makerere Institute for Social Development, an affiliate to Makerere Business School, offers programs in accounting and finance, business administration, procurement and supplies management, social work and social administration, information technology, counseling and guidance, human resource, project planning and management, journalism, secretarial studies, and many others. We are located on Sa Apollo Kegwa Road, next to Oilcom Petrol Station, with a UBTEP center number.
Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998 with a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda. We created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pain Arena. Introducing on the right corner, Mr. Action, the reigning heavyweight champion in the ring against
the Headache, the #1 contender. And the bell rings.
Headache charges forward with a steady right and a left hook. Action dodges. He misses out with an inch. Wait a minute. Mr. Action launches back with a kick. The final blow. He is out.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Because these are products which the consumers have been asking for. Fruit yogurt from Brookside, and we are glad that we've given the consumers the fruit yogurt in 4 exciting flavors. That is pear caramel, lemon biscuits, strawberry, and vanilla with pods. Quality. We have the best quality yogurt in the market. We are the leading yogurt producer in Uganda. So,
but we want to have a behavior change among our consumers, among our partners, that there should be no excuse. Alcohol should not be an excuse to sexual harassment.
We've gotten over 10 stories, and some connect with academics, because sexual harassment comes with the lobbying of results. In case someone wants to be better in terms of performance, they give in. As the guild, we can't sit back and just relax in case there's a solution. So guess what? Nile Special comes up with a campaign called the No Sexual Harassment Campaign. And first and foremost, since I have this accolade, let me take the initiative to thank them so much, because when one thinks about Nile Special and they come through, it's something new, okay? Because the brand itself, now it's coming out to support the women, we can't take that as a simplicity attribute. So we, as the Guild at Makerere University Business School, are saying that enough of sexual harassment. We're saying no to sexual harassment, but we've had cases whereby some lecturers lobby the ladies into them accepting the sexual contents, and because they want marks, they give in. But if we can really come out forefront and put a solution to it and have an end to it, well and good.
Others, mostly because it's actually hard for them to talk. But since we came up with a whistleblowers initiative, most of them have started giving trust in us, and they are coming in to talk to us.
No excuse right there, campaign against sexual harassment. Now, in other news, the former Makerere University chaplain, Reverend Benon Mugarura, has appealed to Ugandans carrying out kidnaps and brutal murders to repent and stop the brutality. This was during a Thanksgiving ceremony Moses and Monica Adinaito held at St. Francis Chapel in Makerere.
Which takes care of him, because he has everything.
Former St. Francis Chapel chaplain at Makerere University.
Does heartburn stop you from eating the things you love? Eating too fast, alcohol or spicy food can trigger acidity, heartburn, indigestion or flatulence. Your best bet is Better Cool. Better Cool works fast to relieve acidity, heartburn and indigestion. Trust Better Cool. Enjoy life.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Welcome back, Steve.
Just fell in April. They consume it themselves. They've got a big coffee culture there. It's another thing I believe that's important for producing countries. That you don't just look at it as a commodity you need to export, but as part of your own economy, your own culture.
The training is helping export farmers widen their knowledge on some global coffee producers like Brazil and Vietnam have been affected too. However, basing on the 7 years coffee price cycle, experts project that prices will stabilize in 2021, and Ugandan farmers need to adopt stringent protection strategies.
Of course, Uganda cannot compete with the biggest players in the world market. If you look at Brazil, last year Brazil, we are small in the world market. As Uganda, we should be smarter and we should focus on niche markets, where we can actually get premium prices for our coffee.
Coffee is important for a lot of countries, including Uganda, but you don't get the best deal. Productivity is very low, so you need to invest in technology and varieties, validate them. All that is known, but you need to apply it to Uganda.
According to officials at Uganda Coffee Development Authority, it is reported that illegal coffee exports have also contributed to an imbalance in production vis-à-vis the prices that farmers walk away with. It is the hope of ADC that legal stakeholders can follow up such anomalies to aid the success of their efforts to train the farmers. For UBC, Wadulo Markanold.
In more business news, a senior official from the Directorate of Petroleum and Mineral Development has assured university students that Uganda has sufficient mineral resources that will help fast-track economic development. Hani Malinga says
Makerere University Petroleum and Geology Sciences students are preparing themselves to tap into extracting Uganda's abundant mineral wealth. An estimated 200 petroleum students from an Students from different institutions at the beginning of this year were sponsored by the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development to visit the Albert Heijn Graben to show them how oil is refined.
Personally, I was part of the field trip and I surely benefited a lot because I was able to get the feel of what is exactly taking place in the oil and gas sector. We are able to visit various places, for example, Kingfisher, Nzizi. We are able to go to the mountains and saw what they call the oil seeps because we could hear there is oil in the Albert Heijn Graben.
Report compiled by Akaturi.
And now on the international scene, Amber Rudd has quit Boris Johnson's cabinet with an outspoken attack on the way the government is managing the Brexit process. The ex-Work and Pension Secretary said that the government was having no formal negotiations with the European Union about a new Brexit deal, only conversations. Instead, 80 to 90% of its time was spent on preparing an inferior no-deal option, she said. Chancellor Sajid Javid said that this was saddened by this resignation. He says that Andrew Marr's exit shows that the government had been putting a tremendous amount of effort into getting a new deal with the European Union. He added that the preparations for a no-deal scenario would concentrate minds in Europe regarding working towards a new agreement. Downing Street has announced that the Environment Minister, Therese Coffey, will replace Ms. Rudd as Work and Pensions Secretary. In her letter to the Prime Minister Boris Johnson, Ms. Rudd said, "I joined your cabinet in good faith, accepting that no deal had to be on the table because it was by all means what we wanted for the best chance to achieve a new deal to leave on 31st October.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pain Arena. Introducing on the right corner, Mr. Action, the reigning heavyweight champion in the ring against
the Headache, the #1 contender. And the bell rings.
Headache charges forward with a steady right and a left hook. Action dodges. He misses out with an inch. Wait a minute. Low. He is out.
In more sports news, the Kenya's David Nduvu is the new Uganda Amateur Golf Open champion. The 23-year-old Nyali Golf Club player carded a 72-hole score of 286 to secure a one-stroke come-from-behind victory from Simon Jogu, whom had led all the 3 opening rounds, failed to secure a playoff opportunity, and he missed a birdie on the hole.
Nduvu becomes the first Kenyan to take Uganda's most prestigious title since 2007 when fellow countryman Nicholas Rokaini.
Well, that brings us to the end of our news tonight, the weekend edition. My name is Wadulo Mark, and older on sign language is Elizabeth Nakakoni. Thank you for being a part of us. See you tomorrow.
Hi dear friends, welcome to our program once again. We are here to bless you. We are going to pray this week in the Universal Church of the Kingdom of God about justice. Are you suffering injustice in your marriage? Are you suffering injustice in your working place? Maybe right now you are being chased away from your working station, from your department, because somebody accused you in an injustice. It was an injustice that they did. And I'm sure God can fix your life. Maybe you suffer injustice in your marriage. You have been chained by another woman. Another woman came now to occupy your bed where you used to sleep with your husband. Another man came to occupy the bed where you used to sleep with your wife. Is it what you are suffering? Maybe the injustice that you have is the injustice of not being able to pay your debts. This all can be fixed if you call upon God. Watch now what God did in the life of this person that came to ask for justice, and God changed his life.
At the Universal Church of the Kingdom of God.
So it all started from when I was very young. My dad wasn't around much. I knew he was smoking, he was drinking, so once again, he wasn't a good example. My mom was involved in the wrong crowd, always fighting, involved in drugs, all sorts of nonsense technically. And as I grew up, of course, seeing those things when I was young, it was normal. So automatically I got myself involved with the wrong friends.